Is the Panama Canal one of those destinations on your bucket list? Holland America has been cruising the Panama Canal for over 100 years when it even opened. So today we're going to get into it a little bit more. Let's check it out. Welcome to Tuesday Travel Chat. I'm your host, Julia with Go Travel. We also have Bob Cook from Go Travel. And our featured guest is Vanessa Janvier from Holland America line. So we are going to get into everything Panama Canal, everything Holland America. But first, before we give you a little sneak peek into some history, Vanessa, why Holland America? Why Panama Canal? Talk to us.
Well, Holland America, we've been in service for the past 150 years. We've been traveling to Panama Canal for over 100 years. So it's safe to say that you're in good hands when you want to check off Panama Canal off your bucket list, or if you want to return to the Panama Canal again and again, because I have guests who love sailing into that destination. And so we can go dive deeper into why Panama Canal and Holland America, but it is the best choice because we've been doing it for the longest.
And speaking of the longest, we have this little video clip showing that history of Holland America. So let's talk about it. But first, you've got to see this.
Okay.
That's so cool to see all those ships all over the years.
150 years.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
That's crazy.
Like, I get goosebumps when I watch the video.
There's a reason you guys are still around.
Oh, absolutely. Because we do it the best. If we've done it long enough and we're still standing, we're doing something right.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit more about Holland America and why people are attracted to the cruise line.
Well, we are a premium cruise line for travelers who connect with what cruising is all about: the destination, the food, the service, the entertainment, and the sides of our ships. I would definitely say that our guests can feel the focus that we put into the itineraries that we put together for people who are explorers, those who want to dive deep into different countries and the destinations, and the itineraries are just really thought out for you to really get to know all the places that you're visiting, and not just, okay, I've been here for 2 hours and that's it. No, we want to dive deep into every place that we go to, and make it an educational experience as well, versus just, having a good time. I mean, you're going to have a good time, but you're also going to learn a lot more about the places that you're visiting. We love history. I mean, we've been around for 150 years, so we always like to keep the knowledge of the places that you're going. And so for us, the itineraries is what we focus on. We also dedicate our food service to our culinary council of world-renowned chefs. I mean, we're talking chefs that are 3-star Michelin ratings year after year since 2014.
Yeah.
We have those who have restaurants in different countries all over the world. Also, those who have curated these recipes and these the service that we have on board, whether it's dining in the main dining room or the specialty dining or even the Lido market. Like, we have curated all these great delectable meals all of our guests get to enjoy, and I do too when I'm on board. I just love stuffing my face because it's just so good. Even the entertainment.
Yeah.
We partner with BB King's Rhythm and Blues from Memphis, Tennessee, for live music with Rolling Stone playing classic rock and roll, Billboard On Board, which is a dueling piano, even the Lincoln Center stage for classical music. It just something for everyone, and you're never bored when you're on our ships during the nightlife.
Bob, have you been out into BB King's?
I've been to BB King's. I've been to the Lincoln Center. I know I do love some of the performances that you do in the main theater, and some of the ships have the round theater.
Yes,
which are
yes.
really
With the
spectacular.
180
Mhm.
screen. Yes, we love it. Also, the service. I believe everyone gives good service, but it's the quality of service that stands out for me. The personalized service, remembering, the coffee that someone likes or their
Right.
name, paying close attention to their dietary restrictions, their mobile restrictions. It's just the positive impact that we leave on our guests that keeps
Mhm.
them coming back, that loving our service from the staff members that are on board. It's absolutely magical. But if we had to say, what is the secret sauce that have Holland America, been here for so long, is it really? I would say it's our perfectly sized ships.
Ah, that's
Mhm.
true.
It
Yeah.
definitely is. We have ships that range where we service from 1,432 guests to 2,666 guests.
Mhm.
So when you look at the big picture, we are in the sweet spot between mega ships and small ship cruising. So, it's refreshingly uncrowded.
Mhm.
It's flexible with reservations. There's no long lines when you're embarking and disembarking between port of calls. You get to really maximize your time when you're on vacation
Mhm.
because you're not um, overly whelmed or underwhelmed.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah, definitely
Uh,
one of the keys.
I have to say about the service, I personally experienced something very interesting. I sailed on a cruise, let's say 10 years ago.
Okay.
Uh, and the room steward, wonderful guy, just had started, very excited. I sailed about 6 years later, and I hear down the hall, "Mr. Bob, Mr. Bob." I'm like, it was our room steward. He was now one of the head housekeepers,
Wow.
but he remembered. He goes, "I remember all my guests." That's what he said. I was shocked when he was saying, "Mr. Bob." I'm like, he goes, "I was I was on the Rhine with, as your room steward."
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I love it. I
So
love it.
that is Holland America.
Yeah, we definitely leave a positive impact on
Yes.
our guests.
And they keep coming back.
Yes, they do.
You
Yes,
you see that because they feel that. It's really
for
cool.
sure. So also, Holland America line has the advantage of allowing our guests to see the world from their doorstep. And what I mean by that is we have our home ports out of North America, the US and Canada, that takes you around the world where you can circumnavigate countries such as Africa or Australia. You can go to Tahiti from San Diego. You can visit Alaska from Seattle, Washington, or Vancouver, Canada, or even go to the Panama Canal or in the Caribbean from Fort Lauderdale.
Mhm.
It's just an array of destinations and itineraries to choose from. Visiting, over 225 different ports in 91 countries. That says a lot. Where the beauty of it is just, it's either a drive, to the port of call or a domestic flight. That
Mhm.
way you maximize the time that you're spending on your
Right.
vacation versus having to take 2 or 3 more days, early to get to that destination, flying across the country, and then, making sure that you're there extra days because you don't want to miss your
Mhm.
flight or miss the cruise. So it's a really good way to just get to enjoy your vacation time without having to add more days just for the preparation of it.
Mhm.
And Bob, I know that there's a number of clients, especially that you've worked with,
Mhm.
that need that ability to be able to get easily aboard the ship without having to take those overseas flights
Yes.
to get on board. This is a
Right.
great option for those people.
Yeah. Yeah, especially just sailing out of Fort Lauderdale, even to going to Europe and hanging around, and then we've had people who do that the entire summer, then come back on Holland America again.
So let's talk about that. Can we get into Panama Canal now?
Let's
Yes, we
do
I am
can.
very
it.
excited for this. So a cruise to the Panama Canal is an incredible experience. Lots of history there,
Mhm.
lots of things to do, and it's just one of those like bucket list destinations that you want to go to. And I would say arguably maybe the greatest engineering achievement of all time. I don't know.
Modern
It's
engineering, yes.
debatable, but I will go with it. And so it just and if you're looking at the picture where there's the ship crossing the canal,
Yeah.
we really encourage our guests to find their spot at the bow of our ships. And that's something
Ooh.
that we hold true to
Mhm.
our product line is that we have a very wide, broad bow of our ship. So that way everyone gets to experience everything up close and personal while a historian is or the speaker educating you and telling you about the history of the Panama Canal
Mhm.
and the wildlife and what you're seeing, the fortresses that you're passing, the man-made lakes. It's just so great that you can see it and hear about the history all at the
Mhm.
same time while being at the bow of the ship. It's like I don't know, front row seats to a concert or
Yeah.
something. It's pretty amazing.
That's
So,
pretty neat. So
Yes.
everybody gets the front row seat. You're
Yes.
not having
Exactly.
to battle for the coveted 10 seats. You have that wide bow. That's really neat.
Especially with having the fewer number of passengers on. You don't have 4,000 people trying to get to the front of the ship,
right.
edging each other
No
out
need
of
to
the
sit
way.
on anyone's shoulders to see anything. You definitely get a great view, no matter what stateroom that you're in. Everyone gets to enjoy that up close and personal.
Mhm. There's some fascinating facts about the Panama Canal. And if you've seen my videos before, you'll always get some fascinating facts before I start. So, fascinating fact number one, the Panama Canal is entirely gravity fed. There are no pumps that pump the water. It all comes from the mountains
Didn't
that
know
tap
this.
during the rainfalls. Number two, the original set of locks, the Gatun locks, have the original swing gates that have been working perfectly since the canal opened over 120 years ago.
Okay.
Yes. So those are some of the little facts. And little trains called mules. See the track along the picture?
Yeah.
That is what they tie the ship to. They guide it through perfectly. Because in some cases, there's 4 feet on either side of the lock for the ship to go through.
Wow.
So it's a very, very tight, but very well managed, precise action. It is totally choreographed to get you through the canal. So it's really spectacular.
It's a dance that you need
it
to
is.
see for yourself.
It's an art.
And we're going to be talking about a couple of great itineraries today. We're going to be talking about the full transit of the canal, and we're going to be talking about the partial transit, where you go into the first set of locks, cruise around Gatun Lake, and come back out into the Caribbean. So let's take a look at the first one we're going to talk about, okay?
Yes, let's
Okay.
do it.
So the first one is a 14-day Panama Canal cruise, complete transit, Fort Lauderdale to San Diego. As you can see, it's stopping in Cartagena, going to the Panama Canal. And one thing about the canal, another stupid little fact, the canal does not run east-west. It runs north and south
Yes, it does.
through the Isthmus of Panama.
I also have a fun fact.
Yes.
So Cartagena is a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Mhm.
The city itself is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So definitely some history there
yeah.
for sure.
It's beautiful.
Fun fact.
Love it.
And then you pop out on the other end of the canal. This is a daytime transit, by the way. Then you're going up the coast to Puerto Caldera, Puerto Quetzal, Puerto Vallarta, Santa Cruz, Huatulco, and ending in San Diego. Now, if you wanted to really enhance your trip, stay on board and go up to Alaska from San Diego.
Absolutely. We love Alaska.
So, anyway, this is a great cruise if you want to go all the way through and have a full 8 hours. I believe it's an 8-hour transit through both sets of locks from the Atlantic or Caribbean to the Pacific.
And before we move forward, Bob,
Mhm.
who is this one for? Because I know we've got 2 other itineraries that we're going to talk about. What would be kind of the standout why you would choose this one?
This is anniversary cruise.
Okay.
This is a bucket list cruise. This is for people who really hate flying.
Okay.
Yes.
You can go all the way from Fort Lauderdale to San Diego. Come back by train if you don't like to fly. We've had the clients that want that, but this gives you the full transit of getting you there and getting to some interesting ports. Most of the stops are in very historical colonial era towns, exception of Puerto Vallarta. But everything else along the Pacific coast has a lot of history associated with it.
Very good.
And
Some
very
good points
affluent
there.
in the Spanish culture as well.
Yes,
So
yes.
as it is in Central America, you're visiting Guatemala, Costa Rica,
Mhm.
Nicaragua,
Yeah.
a lot of Mexico, even Huatulco is
Yes.
a hidden paradise
Yes, it
for
is.
Mexico. So a lot of great places to go there in just short 14 days.
And Huatulco is a fairly new stop. Also is Corinto.
Yes.
They're fairly new for cruise lines. So again, bucket list. I'm collecting cities.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what that's for.
A fairly new one that,
Yes.
people weren't doing by
Mhm.
cruise before.
Okay, so our next one.
Remember, gotravel.com if you
Thank you. Yes,
if you need to
remember
book. If
gotravel.com.
you need to book,
Absolutely.
or call your Go Travel advisor. Okay,
Yes.
next one, Bob.
Next one is a 10-day Southern Caribbean Seafarer cruise. Now, this is not really a Panama Canal, where even though we're talking about the canal, but I just threw this in as a nice break because you can back it up to a Panama Canal cruise.
Okay.
But this is going to Grand Turk, Amber Cove in Dominican Republic, then down to the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, back to Fort Lauderdale. This particular sailing, the reason I threw it in here, it's a very good value.
Okay.
Again, if you go to Holland America, $16.99 a person plus taxes. Our price starting $11.49. That's less than $115 a day per person to do a great itinerary cruise.
Fantastic.
The other
Yeah.
advantage is Half Moon Cay, which is our
Yes.
private island,
Oh,
awarded the best private island for the past 20 years. So
Yes.
definitely a highlight in the itinerary.
And you have the horses that go in the water there, don't
Yes,
you?
horseback riding, land
Horseback
and
riding in the
sea.
water, yeah.
So while we're on the topic of Half Moon Cay, Vanessa, talk to us why we should be interested in this spot.
Well, Half Moon Cay is a beautiful, unspoiled beach that is over 2,400 acres. So it's huge.
Wow.
It's our private island. It's been
Mhm.
awarded the best beach for over 20 years. So not only we've been around for 150 years, but we're winning awards for the best beach for the past 20 years. I mean, it is so beautiful. We have amazing shore excursions, whether you're kayaking, whether you want to rent a cabana or a villa
Yeah.
with your loved ones. We have horseback riding, land and sea. You start with the horseback riding through our trek, and then you'll end up horseback riding in the water. It is amazing and it's so much fun. It's pristine, and I keep saying it's unspoiled. So like you just
Mhm.
get the beach, right, and just the natural state of it,
Yeah.
and we don't have to bring in all the glitz and glams of it. You just indulge in the private island for
Yeah.
what it is.
The beautiful
Yeah.
natural state of the
Exactly.
beach.
Yeah.
The
Fantastic.
beach state of mind.
I'm picturing those horses going across.
Oh, it's
Again,
so much fun. You have to try it.
Instagram, but you need to book it as soon as they come available to book your
Yes.
excursions. Those fill up quickly.
yeah. So if this is something you're interested in, tell your advisor so that they can get on top of it right away.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you were talking about the
We
itinerary.
were talking about the itinerary, Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire, Amber Cove, Grand Turk, Half Moon Cay. Great destination, great way to see the Caribbean. Our price $11.49 a person, $115 a person a day. You can't stay at a Holiday Inn in Central Florida for this price.
This is very
This is a
true.
great deal.
Very amazing.
Now, our next one is our escorted tour that we are hosting on the Rotterdam. This one I really like because you are going, again, Half Moon Cay is a stop on every single Holland America Caribbean cruise. So you always have Half Moon Cay. You have the horses you have the horses in the ocean. You have the cabanas. This is going down to Curacao. Very, very Dutch feel. It's part of the Netherlands, actually.
Yes.
So it's part of Holland America's history. Then Cartagena. Now, we did mention Cartagena before in terms of the historical aspect. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Just really, really gorgeous. We get to the pièce de résistance, the chef d'oeuvre of the cruise, the Panama Canal. Now, this is for people who don't have time to do a complete transit, don't want to take 14 days or 16 days. You enter the Panama Canal on the Caribbean side. They also refer to it as the Atlantic side. You enter from the northwest. You come into the set of locks. You cruise Gatun Lake. You usually have lunch while you're on Gatun Lake. You turn around and come back out the same set of locks. So you see yourself coming and going again. You're going to see the water filling the locks. You're going to see the gates shutting that have been in existence since the Panama Canal was built. You're going to see the little mules pulling the train through the locks. It is spectacular. Come out of there, we're going to Puerto Limon in Costa Rica. There's a lot of little heritage sites in Puerto Limon. You can also take an excursion into San Jose, the capital.
A lot of culture there.
A lot of culture.
Yes.
And Holland America is one of the few ships that can still go to Key West because of their size. A
Yes,
lot
it
of
is.
big ships have
Perfectly
been
sized
canceled
ships.
from Key West. And if you've been to Key West by land recently, you know that it will cost you for 2 days what this cruise will cost you for 12 days.
Spectacular.
Yes.
I know.
And at a great time of the year.
And I know the word gets overused, but really this is a bucket list.
Yes, it is.
And
It
it's
is.
such
It
that's
is.
such a great deal
Yeah.
and very affordable.
Yeah.
You can't, like you say, you can't go anywhere in
And
Orlando.
you're not only just passing the Panama Canal, but you're going to Puerto Limon and Colón. So you're really diving deep into the culture of Panama
Yes.
and getting more educational history from the country. So
Yeah.
definitely a beauty.
And let me tell you, if you're thinking of going to the canal, but I don't know if I really want to do it, do yourself a favor. Order Path Between the Seas. It's by author David McCullough, who's written a lot of very good books about history. Path Between the Seas is still in publication. It was published almost 40 years ago.
Wow.
I remember reading it when it first came out. If that doesn't make you want to go to the Panama Canal, then you're not going to go anywhere. This book is spectacular. It describes the building of the canal,
Yes.
starting in 1880 by Ferdinand de Lesseps, who made the Suez Canal, who went bankrupt trying to build it. He was defeated by malaria. And the interesting thing, when you go into the canal, either the full transit or partial, you're still going to see some of the remnants of the equipment that was used to build the canal by de Lesseps. You'll see things that are 160 years old now.
Yep. Just to see just to have the opportunity to see the infrastructure is captivating. You just want to stand at the bow of the ship and just see
Mhm.
everything go. And as it moves forward in the
Yes.
crossing, it's just something you just
Right.
can't miss. It's just like a live museum that you're watching and knowing the history. There's a
Mhm.
narrator on board that's telling you the history of the Panama Canal and what you're seeing, that when the interlocks are changing and then when the man-made lakes are rising and things like
Mhm.
that. So like you're not just seeing it, but you're hearing it at the same time of what's happening right before your eyes.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something to experience.
And you also do sail right next to where you're sailing in the Gatun locks, which are the original locks, the super locks, which are designed for aircraft carriers and naval
Yes.
ships and large cargo vessels. That is right next to you. So you can see that as you're sailing through the Gatun lock also. So you're seeing the complete evolution of the canal.
Yep.
So remember, if you are ready to book any of these, visit gotravel.com. We'll connect you with a specialist, or
Mhm.
just reach out to your Go Travel advisor to take advantage of these amazing
Yes.
deals. Or if you want to go, especially with our hosted sailing with
Yes.
someone from Go Travel. But before we go today, Vanessa, talk to us about inclusions on Holland America, because we haven't really talked about that and kind of how that all works.
So we have one of the best amenity inclusions called Have It All. I always say, why have someone? You can just have it all. And it's where we offer guests all the amenities they love the most. So excursion credits, drink package, specialty dining, and Wi-Fi all in one. And when you book it with Go Travel in advance, you get it for $50 per person per day.
Oh,
If you try to
nice.
book this on board, you're spending $99 for this per person per day.
Amazing
So
value.
definitely, it's an amazing value just to add on to your cruise fare, and get the most out of it.
Mhm.
Wonderful. And also for those pickleball fans out there, some amazing news from Holland America.
Yes.
We've got to talk about it.
So we're always looking for innovative ways to enhance our onboard experience for our guests. And one of the favorite things that we like to do is keep everyone active. And so Holland America Line is exclusive cruise line partner of the Professional Pickleball Association. So pickleball is a real craze now, right? So everyone is doing it. Everyone is using that as their sports activity. And now we have sports directors on board that will give free lessons for beginners. We have tournaments on board. You can bring a group of your friends that you play pickleball with, or your family. I don't know, have a tournament on board, and
Yes.
the mostly generational. You can even do it that way, and so that way everyone can have a good time
Yeah.
and visiting beautiful places, and also playing a really fun sport on board on our sun deck, or a sports deck. I'm sorry. And it's just a really fun, cool thing to do on board. And so we're really excited about it.
Very neat. So if you have a group, or you have a pickleball group that you play with, call us. We do a lot with groups. We can
Yes.
get you on board, do some special activities just for your specific
Mhm.
group. There's a lot more now with all this pickleball.
Absolutely. Let us elevate your pickleball experience.
While you sail through the Panama Canal.
Exactly.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Vanessa, for
Oh,
joining
thank
us
you for
today.
the opportunity. I've had really fun time.
Yeah, and reach out to your Go Travel advisor to book your next Panama
Mhm.
Canal cruise, or visit us at gotravel.com and we will get you connected. And we'll see you right here next week. Have a good day.
Bye, everyone.